Hello everyone, welcome to Geology Concepts. We are back with a new series of current affairs in which we are going to cover current affairs from 17th to 24th of July, in which we have decided to cover few topics. The topics are here in front of you. Few of them are like President, Forex Reserve, cryptocurrency, Jagrati mascot, important terms of economy, euro-dollar parity and remittance. These topics are here. I will discuss one after one, all of them. And okay, let's start. Myself Ajit Kumar Singh. Let's move ahead. So the first topic is Madam President. So we have our 15th President of India, Draupadi Murmu, right? She is the 15th President of India, which is important. Like in many exams, that order is also asked. So that's why this also becomes important, that she is the 15th President of India. So she is the first tribal president, right? And the second woman president after Srimati Pratibha Patil comes from Odisha's Mayurbhanj district. Murmu belongs to Santhal tribe. Santhal tribe holds a very different, very respected position in India's history, because they have fought freedom fighter. They have fought along with us the fight of freedom, right? So the third, Santhal is also the third largest scheduled tribe in India after Gonds and Bhils. So this also needs to be remembered, that Gonds and Bhils are the first two tribes, the largest tribe groups, and the third is the Santhal group. So who is a president? Actually, president is the head of the Indian state and first citizen of India, which is like this, the head of the Indian state and first citizen of India. Election, the next important thing comes, the election process of the president. Who all are those people who take part in the election of the president? So this electoral college actually comprises of MPs and MLAs of both the houses of parliament, like MPs of both the houses of parliament. So only elected members. Actually, one thing need to be noticed here and highlighted here is that only elected members take part. Only elected members and no nominated members. No nominated members are allowed to vote. So this thing should be highlighted, right? So this you have to remember, that no nominated member take part in this election, and MLAs of Delhi and Puducherry also take part. So this is important, but no nominated members of Rajya Sabha, also nominated members of Rajya Sabha do not take part, and nominated members of Lok Sabha do not take part, and assemblies no nominated member at all take part, and neither the members of council also take part, because the council, we have only all the states do not have councils. That's why only state assembly MLAs take part, not the members of the council. So this is how the president is elected, and this is a little bit of like members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha take part. So I have just mentioned these members of state assemblies, legislature from NCT of Delhi and Puducherry, they also take part. And secret paper ballot system, this is also a question, like what kind of secret ballot, what kind of ballot system is used. So it is secret ballot system is used for the election of president. And in 2017, since 2017, the ballot paper for MLAs was like made of pink color, and for MPs it was of green color. So this is how it is. So okay, next topic is the next topic, like Forex Reserve. So what happened is that Indian rupee has depreciated by 4.1% against the US dollar during the current fiscal year, which is 2022-23. The foreign portfolio investors have pulled out. So reason behind this is that a lot of foreign portfolio investors, like 2.32 lakh crore in the last 6 months, have pulled out their investments. That's why the rupee has depreciated 4.1% against US dollar. So this is a little bit of concern, and our foreign exchange reserve has come down to 593.6.3 billion, which actually few months back it was like it has crossed already like 600 billion. So it is a deficit, it has decreased. So that is a cause of concern, because decreasing rupee will affect the economy. So that's why it is a cause of concern. The first thing, the most important thing here is this, that foreign currency, like foreign reserve, whatever foreign reserve we have, the components are, these are the 4 components. And this thing it becomes important because in exams the questions are based on such topics, such information, like what are the components of foreign currency. So this is foreign currency assets like dollar, maybe gold reserves, how much gold India has, and special drawing rights. This is related to IMF, and reserve transposition with IMF is also related to IMF because it has already been mentioned here. So this is how these 4 things are important for the foreign reserve. These are the component of foreign reserve, right? So next thing is what is external commercial borrowings. This is important also because once this foreign exchange reserve is being mentioned, so external commercial borrowing is also comes there. That's why I have decided to just mention it. External commercial borrowing is a loan availed by Indian entity from a non-resident lender, right? Any Indian entity if borrows money outside India from any non-Indian lender, then it becomes external commercial borrowing. It has benefit because external commercial borrowing provides opportunity to borrow large volume of funds available for long term. It is available for longer term, and it is rates are lower compared to domestic funds. And this is also like if there is a borrowing in a foreign currency, so it will help them in imports. So that's how external commercial borrowing are important, and this is about definition. So moving to the next topic is cryptocurrency, which is important because these days you must have seen in news that cryptocurrency is actually their value is depreciating because of the market value is decreasing. RBI has recommended a ban on cryptocurrencies, citing destabilizing effects on countries' monetary and fiscal health. In India, RBI has recommended a ban. Why? Because of the volatile nature of the cryptocurrencies. So that's why this volatility is not helpful and not healthy for the Indian economy. That's why RBI has recommended a ban. China has already declared a ban on crypto. That's why we must take this thing into consideration, that China has declared a ban on the cryptocurrency, and El Salvador has declared cryptocurrency a legal tender, like Bitcoin a legal tender. This is a very important information. This you must keep in your mind. Current status of crypto. So there is no legislature that covers cryptocurrencies in India, which is very important. Like India, there is no policy or legislature that covers cryptocurrencies in India. In India, owning cryptocurrency is not illegal. If you are owning cryptocurrencies, which is not illegal, there is no problem. There are a lot of people who are investing in cryptocurrencies. RBI just said that if anything goes unfortunate, the bank or the government will not be responsible. So this is how it happens. And 2022-23, the budget has proposed to introduce digital currency, right? So this is how it is. What is RBI's concern? Why is RBI concerned about this cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrencies are not a currency because every modern currency needs to be issued by the central bank of the government. You see, the banks control the fiscal policy and the monetary policy. Monetary policy is being monitored by the central bank, which works on the advice and decisions and directions of the central government. Like if the monetary policy is about maintaining the inflation, so inflation targets are being set by the parliament, and those targets are given to the RBI to keep the inflation within that limit. So this is how government controls the fiscal and monetary policies. If the cryptocurrency does not come under the influence or under the control of the parliament, That's why if something goes wrong or cryptocurrency goes volatile, then in that case government will not be able to hold or control the economy, which will have very serious effect, like the government may fall or anything could happen. See the case of Sri Lanka, though it is not related to cryptocurrency, but if economy fails, riots like situation can happen. So that's why RBI and government too are very concerned about this thing. The value of currency is anchored by monetary. The next topic, the next important thing is that value of currency is anchored by monetary policy and their legal status. However, the value of cryptocurrency rests solely on the speculation and expectations of high returns that not well anchored. So what happens is, if there is suppose a volume of currency with the government anchors or supports the currency with gold or some foreign exchange reserve, but cryptocurrency is not supported by any such grant or value or any, though there is no intrinsic value in the cryptocurrency. That's why the governments are, or RBI in particular a central bank, is very concerned about this thing. So next question is, what is a cryptocurrency? Any form of currency that exists digitally or virtually and uses cryptography is secure. For secure transaction is a cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrencies actually work on the blockchain technology. You must have heard this. So blockchain technology has no central control, right? It is very decentralized. Anyone can take part into it. Anyone can. This is like open system. Anyone can come, anyone can go. Nobody stops, nobody controls. So that's why this is very like this thing is like, if this is introduced or cryptocurrency becomes a legal tender, so it can completely destabilize the economy of a country like India. So it will not be good for the society, not be good for the security, law and order. So for all these things, cryptocurrency becomes very important for the government and central bank like RBI also. So cryptocurrencies, the next thing is, cryptocurrency don't have a central issuing or regulatory authority. This is just I have mentioned. Instead, it uses a decentralized system. I have just mentioned this. So this is how cryptocurrency works. It works on the technology which is called blockchain. So blockchain, you guys must have heard this before. So blockchain technology is that there where the cryptocurrency, on which the cryptocurrency works, right? So the next topic is Jagrati mascot. So why this important is, see, this is Jagrati. See, this lady is called Jagrati, and this is for consumer jago, grahak jago. This thing is here, right? So consumer empowerment is for Jagrati mascot is for the consumer empowerment and to empower the consumers. Significance is, it will heighten the consumer rights awareness. Tagline is Jago Grahak Jago. So if there is a question like what is Jagrati, you should be able to answer that Jagrati is related to consumer awareness. Then is economy. Here I have mentioned few topics, few terms which is in news, and this topic is very, very important. I mean, in this lecture, if you have to remember just one topic, so it should be this only, economy. From economy, I mean, these topics are like soft landing, currency war, like reverse currency war, and bond yield inversion, bond yield and yield curve, bonds. All these things are very important, and I'll just mention this. I'll just explain this one by one. First of all, soft landing. Why this soft landing is there? Because you see, first of all, I should take you to this. Just give me a minute. Okay, here if we go, the US inflation has hit a record high of 9.1% in June 2022, which is the highest in last 40 years. This is the reason, right? The inflation is rising, soaring inflation is there in US. That's why the US government had decided to increase the rates, right? Once the rates are increased, the money which is in the market will be absorbed by the central bank, which is US Federal Bank, and then the inflation may come down. So if this thing, the raising of rates, interest rates, if they are done without causing any recession, so that is called soft landing, right? So the difference between soft landing and hard landing is this only, that when there is no recession, it is called soft landing. When there is a recession, it is called hard landing. So this is how it works, and central bank has a very important role to play in it, and that's how this works. The US federal bank has decided to increase the rate of interest, and as the rate of interest increases, the recession may happen. If the recession does not happen, if the government is able to, or the central bank is able to hold the recession in control, it will be called soft landing. If the government is not, or the central bank is not able to hold the recession under control, so it will be called hard landing, right? So this is how this thing is. So this definition is, you need to remember that the recession is the keyword, recession, and the raising of interest rate, right? So this is how this term is. Soft landing is related to inflation. You need to understand this. Then there is a currency war. Sometime back, US and China were in the currency war, where US was actually alleging other countries of US was alleging that other countries are devaluing their currency deliberately. Like US alleged that China devalued its currency to boost their export, right? So for this thing, this is called currency war, right? When one country, then followed by other country, deliberately devalues their currency, and that leads to, for the reason to boost their export. So this is what is currency war. If we move ahead and try to understand what is one other concept, which is called reverse currency war, right? We have just seen currency war. Now we are going to see what is reverse currency war. So let us understand this. The US Federal Reserve has been raising the interest rate to contain inflation, which I have just explained. The US inflation has hit a record high of 9.1% in June 2022, the highest in 40 years. The flip side of the US Federal Reserve action of aggressively raising interest rates is that more and more investors are rushing to invest money in the US. See, once the US government is raising interest rate to contain the inflation, for this thing, lot of investors are rushing to US to invest in USA, because their interest rate is very high, right? So they will get, if suppose interest rate in India is 6% and interest rate in USA suppose is 9%, so I'll take my money and go to US to invest all this money, because I will get 3% extra there. So this is how. So what happens is that many investors from around the country rush to the US, because they get better interest rates, and that's why the US dollar becomes stronger than in many other currencies, right? So this is how the US becomes stronger. A relatively weakness of the local currency of other countries against the dollar makes their exports more competitive. For instance, a Chinese or an Indian exporter gets a massive boost. In the past, US has accused other countries of. So now what happens is, other currencies, like Indian currency is, like its value is decreasing, right? Indian currency has lost 4.1% in the last 6 months, like, or so. So this is how Indian currency is losing its value, because dollar is gaining its value, because inflation in USA is increasing. So the export in India will increase. It will become competitive. It will become cheaper for the import, but the import for India will be costlier. Suppose if India has to import something from outside, it will have to bear a lot of cost, extra cost, because the Indian value, the value of Indian currency has decreased considerably. So all this thing, this is reverse currency war, in which the US has increased the rate of interest, and that's why the rate of interest has caused the dollar to gain strength, and that's why the dollar has become stronger and other currencies have become weaker. So this is how the reverse currency is. Then comes next the bond yield inversion. What is it this, and why is this important in this context? Is that for the to contain the interest rates, the inflation, to contain the inflation, US has decided to increase the rate of interest, but the experts say that if the bond yield inversion happens, the increment in the rate of interest will not help, because it will not help in soft landing, that I have just explained this concept. If the bond yield inversion happens, then soft landing will not happen, and the purpose of increasing the rate of interest will be lost, right? So for this thing, to understand this thing, we must understand first what is bond yield inversion. So for this I have just one graph. Here you see every graph is gaining some value, like here there is steep value gain, normal value gain. This is flat because there is very little change, but the red one is decreasing. So this is the bond yield, and this is the time. As the time increases, bond yield is decreasing. So what happens is bond yield is inversely proportional to rate of interest percentage, interest rate. This should be written as interest rate. This is 1. So what happens is, if the rate of interest increases, bond yield decreases. So this is what happening right now in USA. If the bond yield is the rate of interest, if the Federal Bank keeps on increasing the rate of interest, the bond yield will decrease, right? And if the bond yield is decreasing, it will impact the economy and it will cause a recession, which is not favorable in the case if they want a soft landing, because if their economy goes into recession, then the same increment in the interest rate will cause hard landing. That is what they do not want. So this is how these concepts are important, and for this you need to remember, you need to be very clear about this. So bond yield inversion, so this topic, this concept, reverse currency war, and soft landing. I have just mentioned 4 key concepts of this week, and this is very important. I hope that in the coming exam, one of this term will be definitely there in the question paper. So the next topic is this euro dollar parity. What happened is that US dollar has become equal to the euro, so which means that 1 euro has become equal to US dollar. What determines, then the next question for us is, we will not go into the mechanism, how it happens and what is the significance and how it will affect the world economy, but what important for us is that what determines the currency exchange rate. So this is important for us. There may be a question there. Actually, UPSC is known for asking conceptual questions. So if there is a conceptual question, then you should be very clear about the concepts, that what determines the currency exchange rate. The price of any currency in the market economy is determined by supply and demand. So any market economics and any market dynamics is dependent on supply and demand calculus, right? So the supply of a country's currency in the foreign exchange market is determined by various factors such as central bank policy and local demand for imports and foreign assets. The demand for a country's currency is determined by factors such as central bank policy again, and foreign demand and exports and domestic assets. So again here the central policy plays an important role in both the cases, because this is central bank's policy that plays a huge role, that plays a very important role. That's why this thing is very important, right? So this is how it is. So with this we have one more topic left, I think. Yes, so this is the last topic, remittance. Remittance is important because according to recent WHO report, India is the country which has earned the highest remittance in 2021. So this is the amount of that remittance is USD for 87 billion. So this is why India is at the top place. Somewhere India is at the top place because Indian expatriates, like Indian workers who go outside, Indian citizens who go outside and work there, and they send money back to their relatives and their family members back in India, that is remittance, right? So if we go to the data, in the top 5 remittance recipients in 2021, India is like $83 billion, China is $53 billion, it should be 87, I think, yes, $87 billion. China is at second place, Mexico is at third place, and Philippines is at fourth place, right? So this is how this list is. India is at first place, China second, Mexico third, and Philippines is at fourth place. In the share of GDP, so India gets the remittance, which is $87 billion, but as a percent of GDP, Tonga is a country which gets almost half of its GDP from remittance, which is 44%, then Lebanon 35%, Kyrgyzstan 30%, Tajikistan 28%, and Honduras 27%. So Tonga is a country which gets maximum as a percentage of GDP remittance, which is 44%. So this is how this chapter has ended. Okay, so before we end this session, let us see one question. This question came in 2021, means with last year, and this question is very important because it contains a concept. So the concept is the bond yield. So the question is, the government bond yields are influenced by which of the following? There are 3 options and you have to choose the right one. So I would like to answer you guys. I would like you guys to answer this question in the comment section, and let me know the right answer in the comment section. Okay, we have one more question. This question is also from the PYQ, means previous year question, and it is based on the foreign exchange, and the question asks for the components of the foreign exchange. Which of the following groups of items is included in India's foreign exchange reserve? So it is only only one of the options will be correct. So again here I would like you guys to answer this question in the comment section. And so with this we'll end this topic, and I hope you guys have liked it. You must be getting some benefit out of it. So I hope you guys are doing well in your examination preparation also. Thanks for watching. Thank you. See you in the next time.